Hi guys, I'm Empress Marcy's nephew Hassain, and welcome to the Empress Marcy YouTube channel. Today we'll be going over stories from our parents' childhood such as Anansi and the Cow and the Strange Fisherman, along with the Woman and the Spinning Wheel. But today we'll be focusing on the Woman and the Spinning Wheel alongside Anansi and the Cow. But before we get into the video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. And guys, please wear a mask and be safe. Now let's head on to the video. Now let's start. The Cat, Woman and the Spinning Wheel. Once upon a time, there was a man who was going far away. He had been walking through the woodland for days and he was very tired and hungry. He came upon a little house and he said to himself, I wonder if is anyone living there. I would give anything to have a piece of cornmeal pudding right now. Just as he said this, a woman came from the house. Her skin was so pretty and her eyes were as black as coal. Oh, what a lovely woman, he said to himself. I've never seen anything that lovely. The woman laughed and said, You look so tired and hungry, would you like to come inside and have something to eat? He agreed, of course, and the woman and the man went inside the house. She pulled out a coal stove from under the bed and cooked a nice dish of sawfish and cornmeal pudding. Thank you, you are so kind, he said, but I do not want to give any trouble, so I'll go on my way. It's no trouble, the woman said. I love to help people. The next day, she gave him food again. This time she made cornmeal pudding and with rice and meat. So she was so kind that he forgot where he was going. Every day the woman gave him good food and she was so nice to him. So he stayed for a long time. The man was so happy that he made her his wife. All went for a long time. Then he began to wonder about the woman. He thought she was up to something bad. He thought something funny was happening. Sometimes he would get up at night and would not see her. He wondered where she was. He thought he was going to try to watch her and see what was happening. So one night he went into bed, but he did not sleep. He shut his eyes to make sure the woman thought that he was sleeping, but indeed he was not. As soon as she thought he was sleeping, she jumped out of the bed and pulled a coal pot out from under the bed. She took a spinning wheel from the corner of the room and put it beside the coal pot. Then she sat on it until the coal pot became red hot. She began to spin off her skin using the spinning wheel as she sang, turn and spin, come off skin, turn and spin, come off skin. So the man, surprised, the woman's skin came off and she suddenly turned into a great big cat. She put the skin under the bed and said, stay there, skin, till I come back. I'm going to have some fun. The man opened his eyes and thought about what he had just seen. He now knew that the woman was bad. I must think of a way to get away from this woman, he said to himself. So he took out her skin, then found some salt and pepper and then laced her skin with it. So he soon went to bed so the woman would think that he was sleeping. After a time, the woman came back. She had enjoyed herself and she was laughing. She laughed as she took the skin from under the bed. She laughed as she began to put it on. But suddenly, she stopped laughing. The pepper and salt began to burn her. She looked ugly and then she began to bawl, why, why? She soon tried to get out of her skin, but she could not. She bawled and bawled as the salt and pepper burned her more and more. And then she turned around and fell down dead. And this is how the man got away from the Catwoman. And now on to the next story, Anansi and the Cow. You start recording? Anansi and the Cow. Brother Anansi was walking through the bush one day where he saw Brother Cow chewing on some chew stick. Now Anansi longed to eat some cow meat. Everybody knows Anansi thinks he's smart. He thought he knew how to get some cow meat. Anansi ran home and told his wife and children, today we're going to eat cow meat, so get the pot ready. He went for some sugar cane. Anansi went back to the bush where he met Cow and said, Brother Cow, I see you eating some chew stick. I have some better chew stick here, would you love to try it? Oh, Brother Anansi, said Cow, I would love to try it. So Anansi gave Cow some sugar cane and said, isn't my chew stick nice, Brother Cow? Isn't it sweet? Oh yes, said Cow. Would you like to have some more of my nice, sweet chew stick? Anansi said, I have more at home. Just come with me. Brother Anansi, said Cow, you are so nice, but I've never been to your home. It is all right, replied Anansi. You can come with me. All right, replied Brother Cow. When they got to the yard, Anansi said, tied her up to the tree. He said, Cow, don't forget you must find out where the flies. I know you don't like flies. So Brother Cow found his tail very hard. Anansi called his wife and children and said, come and see Brother Cow. Suddenly, Anansi gave a loud shout. He wanted everybody to think that the cow was making trouble. Look how the cow is fanning his tail. My poor little children are afraid. He's coming into the yard and troubling my children. I have to kill him, he shouted. Then Anansi took up the knife to cut off the cow's head. Suddenly, Anansi brought down the knife, but the cow moved his head, and the knife cut the rope. Cow put his tail on his back and ran away. From that day, Cow and Anansi have not been friends. See, if you're familiar at all with the Anansi stories, you'll find to know that Anansi is a trickster and a jinna. Just much like a lot of people we know in everyday life. The first story we read, the woman and the spinning wheel, my mama does not like that story. She feels like he could have done another thing like run away or something else, but I feel it's a good story, but he could have done something else as well. Drop your thoughts and opinion down in the comment and like the video. Goodbye.